go. And another one. And another one. And another one. What's going on, people? It's your boy, your host, Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. How y'all doing? Let's get down to business. Turn it off, cut it off, cut it off. Was right on cue with that today, yeah. But anyway, again, I will introduce myself again. This is your host, Brandon Brevon Towns. This is Sports Plus Life. And again, if you are a new listener, I hope you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm waiting, needing to get more subscribers. Come on, people. You know what I'm saying? Look out for your boy. Y'all know I be talking that fire. Y'all know I be talking that fire, boy. That fire, boy. You know, I be coming with that knowledge. I be spitting them facts. You know what I mean? So y'all go ahead and subscribe to your boy. Get y'all a little edification and a little opinion. You know what I mean? Last time, was a good show. I mean, well, every time is a good show. But anyway, how's everybody doing today? I'm good here in the Richmond, VA. Today is Saturday, January 19th, 2019. And today is a busy day. It's a busy weekend in sports. I'm hyped. I can't wait. My Friday night was pretty good. Watched a couple of games. Actually watched that new Halloween last night. And it was dope. And that was before I fell asleep because I was a little tired. So let's just say, okay, so let me rephrase that saying I watched the new Halloween movie. I watched maybe about half of it before I dozed off. And, but still, I mean, it was good. So I'm going to, finish the rest of it today. But, I had to get to work today. Like I said, I'm hyped. Today is a big day. We got boxing today. We got big game in college basketball. College basketball is starting to heat up. And then, of course, we have tomorrow is Championship Sunday. And, yeah, so it is definitely going down in the sports world. And without further ado, let's get to it. Switched it up on y'all today, huh? Switched it up on y'all today, head ass. That's because today we are leading off with boxing. We're going to lead off with boxing because tonight is the WBA welterweight championship fight of the world between the champion Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, future Hall of Famer, congressman, all that good stuff, versus Adrian the Problem Broner, who has been seen as pretty much a relative underachiever, but has massive talent, and you just want to see him put it together when a fight matters. It's crazy because I didn't lead off the Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury fight when that happened in December, a fight that honestly was of a greater importance when you look at the climate of the heavyweight division. But I'm leading off with this because, I've watched the All Access and, I watched the weigh-in yesterday, and Adrian Broner, well, both fighters looked in tip-top condition. They both came in under the 140-pound weight limit for this fight, and both of them look ready to go, and it looks like it's going to be a very entertaining fight. I just have that feeling deep down in my soul that this is going to be just a very entertaining fight. Remember I played the clip last episode for you guys when Adrian Broner was going off on Al Bernstein, but this time, in his interview with Jim Gray and also Manny Pacquiao's interview with Jim Gray, they were just looked like they were ready to get down to business, ready to go to work. So, let's take a listen.
Very much. Manny, you've had a lot of face-offs. Usually you're not smiling. Why the big smile?
Yeah, I'm just smiling. I'm happy to be back here and happy to have a fight tomorrow night.
Manny, it may be the weekend for 40-year-olds. We got Drew Brees playing in the National Football Conference Championship. Tom Brady at 41 playing in the American Football Conference Championship. You at 40 fighting here at the MGM. Is your age any factor in this fight, and has it been in your training camp?
It's just a number. Doesn't matter. I'm 40 years old. I feel still young, and tomorrow I have something to prove. That at the age of 40, I can still give my best.
And do you have to fight? Is your legacy on the line each time you fight?
I'm sorry?
Is your legacy and what you've accomplished on the line every time you fight?
Yes, it's my legacy to give a good fight and to accomplish all this, and especially at the age of 40. This is my first fight at the age of 40, so I had to prove something that Manny Pacquiao is still there in the path of boxing.
Brian, thank you very much. Here with Adrian Broner. Adrian, what does this opportunity represent to you tomorrow night?
Shit, first of all, I feel good. All my street niggas in the building. Yes, sir.
And how about the opportunity?
It's a hell of an opportunity, man. You know, like I said before, man, I ain't just doing this for me. I'm doing this shit for the hood.
Do you feel as though this is a career-defining moment? A victory over Manny Pacquiao would catapult you to another level?
Of course, man. After I win tomorrow night, man, I'll be legend overnight, man.
What are you going to have to do to win this fight?
Just do me.
Meaning?
You'll see tomorrow night.
Thank you, Adrian. Best of luck.
All right, I love y'all, man. Thanks for coming out to support me, man. I got y'all. Let's get it.
All right, I tell you, both fighters sound like they're ready to, put in the work. Tell you one thing about Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner is gonna be Adrian Broner, and that's for damn sure. And that's all you can ask anybody to be themselves. I would have kind of left the street nigga comments at the door. We know we doing it. We know you doing it for the hood, and I ain't knocking, But I'm just saying that as far as a stereotypical thing. And I know, and honestly, I guess in a sense, we as black people shouldn't really care what people think about us. But the fact of the matter is, now me personally, I really don't care what anybody thinks about me, but it's just a time and place for stuff. But I guess he can do that because he's a fighter. He's not going to sit in a office with a suit and tie. He's going to put on boxing gloves and take and dish out punches. As far as the imagery, because I'm pretty sure it was, it's some, I'm not even just going to say some white people. It's people of other races thinking, look at them. There they go. Look at them. Yeah. Well, we know where one street nigger is, and he's getting interviewed. I'm just saying. But it is what it is. I think it's going to be a damn good fight. I think Broner actually is focused. I'm going to make my prediction right now. I do not think that he will win. I think he will give a good account of himself. I think he'll give a good enough account of himself to where he can still possibly fight another top-tier fighter. He has to give a good account of himself, especially like I said on Thursday with the way that he came at Al Bernstein, who's a Hall of Famer and a commentator for Showtime. I said that he has to win. He cannot get knocked out in this fight unless it is an absolute slug match where they're exchanging knockdowns and he just happens to get caught. That's different. But if he comes out there and just gets destroyed, then he's just falling off the cliff. Period. He's gonna have to start from the bottom all over again. As for Manny Pacquiao still looking for big fights if he wins this fight. Of course, he wants the May rematch with Floyd Mayweather. Like I said, I wouldn't hold my breath on it. There is Keith Thurman, who's fighting next week. Maybe he can fight. Maybe Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao can fight if both of them are victorious. We know that Errol Spence has a fight coming up. And, of course, in April, on April 20th, Terrence Crawford is fighting Amir Khan. So it's definitely heating up in boxing. And also, what was just announced yesterday is that on May the 4th, Cinco de Mayo weekend, Canelo Alvarez will have a unification fight against Daniel the Miracle Man Jacobs. Now that I'm very excited for, because Daniel Jacobs is regarded as the third best welterweight in the world behind Canelo and, of course, Gennady Golovkin. He fought Gennady Golovkin back in 2016 in what turned out to be a very, very close fight. Daniel Jacobs did get dropped in that fight, but got up and made a good account for himself. He fought great. He did. He fought great, and he's regarded as the third best welterweight. And, styles make fights. And honestly, styles make fights. And if I had to make an early prediction, I'm not being biased or anything like that. As far as those styles go, I have to give the slight favor to Daniel Jacobs. But Daniel Jacobs, I'm going to say this right now. In order for Daniel Jacobs to win this fight, he has to do it in such a convincing manner that there is no doubt, because this is going to be Cinco de Mayo weekend. Canelo Alvarez is a Mexican. And if the fight is close, if the fight is 7-5 for Jacobs, or even 8-4 for Jacobs, he's going to lose that fight. They will give it to Canelo. You have to look at the whole totality of the situation. Canelo just signed this huge deal with DAZN, the streaming app, for $365 million for 11 fights. He's fought one fight. You really think they're trying to see him lose on his second fight? There's a lot of money in Canelo right now. So Daniel Jacobs, if I say, when you win this fight, bro, if you win this fight, you have to beat this man so convincingly, drop him a couple of times, or knock him out. So boxing is definitely heating up. I can't wait, because like I said, I love the sweet science. But again tonight, Manny Pacquiao and Adrian Broner for the WBA secondary welterweight title. Like I said, I don't know what the hell secondary means. Manny Pacquiao is coming in with the belt. That's all that means to me. Manny Pacquiao is coming in with the belt. Adrian Broner is trying to take the belt away from him. So, let's get it on, Let's get it. Let's go. And I just wanted to touch on that. Open with something a little bit different, because it seems like I'm always opening with, I'm always opening with football. But it's fight night tonight, damn it. So let's let the fisticuffs fly. Now, on to my next subject. Now I will talk about Championship Sunday, and I'm really, I'm going to talk about Championship Sunday. I went into detail on Thursday. Of course, the early game is the New Orleans Saints hosting the Los Angeles Rams. Both teams 13-3. The Saints hold the tiebreaker because they beat the Rams in Week 11 of last year's regular season. This is a different team. This is a different team on both fronts. Of course, for the Saints, there was no Ted Ginn Jr. You still got Ingram and Kamara. I think the more changes have actually come on the side of the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams, there was no Aqib Talib. Marcus Peters was playing through an injury. He's now healthy. There was no C.J. Anderson. And the Saints also lost one of their best defensive linemen, Sheldon Rankins, to a torn ACL last week against Philadelphia. So that hurts. I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams. I've been saying the Rams all year. So like I said, I can't switch up now. I've been saying the Rams all season. I think that everybody is looking for a shootout for the game to be aired out, and I don't see it turning out that way, at least on the Rams side. I think they're going to try early to establish ball control with Todd Gurley and with C.J. Anderson, which worked so great for them last week. But again, you still have your weapons on the outside. You still have Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods and Josh Reynolds with Higbee and Everett. You still have these guys. And with the Saints, and on the Saints, and of course, you still have Ingram. You got Kamara. You got Michael Thomas. You got Ted Ginn this game. And so it's going to be a very interesting match. I see this game being epic, like the last NFC Championship game that was played in New Orleans back in the 2009 season, when the Saints were the number 1 seed, then against the number 2 seeded Minnesota Vikings. That was the Bountygate game, actually, when Brett Favre was the quarterback. But that game was epic. It went to overtime. I think this game is going to be something around that level too. But again, I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going with Jared Goff. I'm going with Todd Gurley. I'm going with Cooks, Woods, C.J. Anderson, Aqib Talib. So is definitely going to be exciting. And then on the other championship game, the AFC championship game, you have the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the New England Patriots. Now, look, I'm a Denver Broncos fan. The Chiefs are one of our rivals. But let me say this clear once and for all. I'm riding with the AFC West. Kansas City better represent. They're at home. They got over their one-and-done playoff jinx that's been haunting them for the last 20-some-odd years. And you have the defending AFC champions coming to your building. Coming to your building for a rematch for a game that you lost to them 43-40. If Patrick Mahomes, if you really think you're the MVP, damn it, then you better show it. You better show it. And I'm telling you, I don't want this game to be close. I want to see an epic NFC championship game. Yes, I do. I want to see a complete annihilation in the AFC championship game. I want Kansas City to kick every living piece of shit out of New England. Crying about, oh, bet against us if you want to. Shut up. Now go in there and take your ass whipping like some good old boys. For real. I want to see a complete dominant annihilation. Okay? I want to see the Chiefs defense play even better than what they did against the Indianapolis Colts last week. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Okay? I am looking forward to the Rams and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I want the Chiefs to leave no doubt. I want to see Tyreek Hill flying up and down the field with Kelsey, with Damian Williams, and Sammy Watkins. And you get a big boost on your defense, I guess, at least for morale anyway, because Eric Berry is going to play this game. Fine, Eric Berry hasn't played all season. Eric Berry hasn't played since the first game of last season, which happened to be against the Patriots. Go figure. Go figure. But yes, and most of all, and I say this sentimentally, most of all, I'm rooting for Andy Reid. Andy Reid has been a great coach in the NFL since 1999. All those years in Philadelphia, all of those talented teams, never quite had a squad like this. But all of those teams, the Donovan McNabb, and all of the NFC championship games back-to-back, and the one Super Bowl appearance, the Super Bowl loss to the Patriots. And then with Michael Vick, and then coming to Kansas City. And he's been such a great coach, but the only thing that's missing is a Super Bowl title. Now, I've called the Rams to win the Super Bowl. So, you know, if it's Kansas City and Los Angeles, I got to stick with my pick. I'm going with the Rams. But Andy Reid needs to get back to another Super Bowl, and he needs to win a Super Bowl. If Andy Reid wins a Super Bowl, he is shot up to another stratosphere because of his longevity of being a great coach. Right now, Andy Reid is like the Jerry Sloan of the NFL. You know, consistent, great coach, great record, no rings. You know, that I honestly, Andy Reid is like the Jerry Sloan of the NFL. Jerry Sloan, of course, was the longtime coach for the Utah Jazz during the Stockton and Malone era that got to 2 NBA finals back-to-back after, you know, playoff appearances every year. The late 90s, gets to 2 straight finals, unfortunately runs into Michael Jordan and loses both times. And the second time having home court advantage. So, and Andy Reid that's the feel I get from him. You know, that's the feel I get. So that's where my sentiment goes to. Aside from my disdain for the New England Patriots, you know, they can go to hell for all I care. I'm about tired of Tom Brady, honestly. But that is where I am at with the conference championship games. Again, my prediction for this year's Super Bowl 53, is the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Los Angeles Rams. I'm not saying no score. You know, I don't predict scores. I'm just telling you who I think will win. Now, like I said, my personal preference, I would love to see an epic NFC Championship game. I want to see a fucking annihilation in the AFC Championship game. Yes, I do. So, anyway, on to the NBA, where last night, the confirmation of domination that will be of the reigning defending two-time champions and winners of 3 of the last 4 Golden State Warriors just got a little bit thicker because last night DeMarcus Boogie Cousins made his season debut and his Warriors debut against the Los Angeles Clippers. He started, played 15 minutes, got in foul trouble, scored 14 points. But if you just saw the energy every time he made a point or made an assist, the energy of that team, they are ready to go. Like I said, I'm not trying to ruin everybody's basketball for you, but it's over. Barring injury, it's over. This could possibly be, you can make the argument, especially if things play out the way I expect them to, this could possibly be the greatest starting 5 in the history of the NBA. I mean, where you have 5 All-Stars, 5 current NBA All-Stars in one lineup. And you can tell DeMarcus Cousins has been rehabbing and working hard and, paying attention to the offense because the offense flowed like clockwork with him in there. And he was stepping back. He made 3 or 4 3-pointers. I mean, his first point as a Golden State Warrior, he yammed it. And he let everybody know, dunk, and the bench exploded. KD, Steph, Clay, Draymond, they just exploded. The energy, the boost that they just got. Because now, I mean, what more motivation do you need? This guy doesn't have a ring. Everybody else on the team does. This guy don't. This guy doesn't. This dude has never even been to the playoffs before. And like I said, bruh, it's over. It's over. It is. It is done. I mean, if you want to find your little silver liners, just pay attention to the Eastern Conference. See how the Raptors and Bucks and 76ers and Pacers and Celtics beat up on each other. Just pay attention to that. Pay attention to James Harden, see how great he's playing in January, and see if you're going to get that same result in May, which I doubt. So if you want to pay attention to that, fine, cool. Because like I said, man, that's a wrap. It is a wrap. LeBron is expected to miss a couple of more games. The Lakers had fallen to 9th place, and I will give them credit for this. The other night, they went to Oklahoma City, who's kind of on a bit of a slide right now. They went to Oklahoma City and fell down 17 points early, came back and won the game in overtime. And you just can see them growing. You can see them growing, with every game. They have to learn, they know how to play. They know how to play. They know how to play together. Kyle Kuzma's an all-star. Straight up. Kyle Kuzma is an all-star. He may not make it this year, but he is a legit NBA all-star now. I was very impressed with Lonzo Ball because Lonzo Ball went right at Russell Westbrook. He did not shy away at all. And he was being a floor general. He was aggressive. He was taking the ball to the hole. He was knocking down threes. And you could just see them growing as a team. So they won that game, which got them tied for 7th. And they play tonight in a primetime game. Only reason why it was on primetime is because the ABC thought that LeBron was going to be there. They play the Houston Rockets. Houston should win. They should win. I mean, they should. But, who knows? So I was very impressed with the young Lakers. That's why, like I said, if I'm Magic Johnson, if I'm Rob Pelinka, man, don't trade nobody, man. let LeBron come back, let Rondo come back, and let's see where this thing goes this season. I mean, what do you trade? Don't trade nobody because you already have a bunch of people on one-year contracts. Rondo, Beasley, Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, Tyson Chandler. None of them is probably going to be back next year. So what are you going to trade the young guys for? So anyway, that's what I mean. But be that as it may, and everything I just said about the Lakers and the East, it's over with. Golden State. That's all I got to say. It's a wrap. So now I want to get into college basketball because there's a big game on tonight. As I've said, I'm a fan of UVA. I'm a fan of Virginia sport. I support Virginia sports regardless. But tonight, number 4 seeded UVA versus the number 1 seeded Duke Blue Devils. And the only reason why Duke is number 1 right now is because that's what they were coming into the week. They actually are coming off of a loss, I believe, on Monday to Syracuse. Now, the Virginia Cavaliers, on the other hand, they had a huge game against the number 9 seeded Virginia Tech Hokies. The Cavs came into that game 15-0. The Hokies were 14-1. Can't say I can remember seeing a game with 2 Virginia schools where they were both in the top 10. So, for me, that was exciting. And UVA came in there and they just blew the damn roof off. They destroyed Tech. They destroyed Virginia Tech. So I think that this game is going to be very, very, very interesting because while it's at Duke, the Cameron Crazies and all that other shit, Virginia is the better fundamentally sound basketball team. How Virginia coming into the week is 15-0 and ranked number 4 is beyond me because the only other undefeated team, it was Michigan, and Michigan was ranked number 2. That's that, Duke privilege. Now Duke clearly has the more talented basketball team. Zion Williams and Barrett and and those guys. One of their guys are out tonight, but it's going to be very interesting because of course we all know that Virginia can defend. We know that, but their offensive game has been pretty good. It's been different from the years past, and that's been one thing that has been to Virginia's detriment over really the past 5 years is because while you've had the number 1 ranked defense in the country consistently, you find yourself in these offensive lulls where you're just settling for long shots and you go long stretches without scoring. And bottom line is once you get to the tournament and you're facing better competition, aside from last year's bullshit that happened, you can't do that. So, Ty Jerome and Kyle Guy and DeAndre Hunter, these guys can ball. These are NBA players. You can't really, UVA has put out some NBA players, especially over this last run since about 2014. They've put out Joe Harris and Malcolm Brogdon and Justin Anderson. Malcolm Brogdon and Justin Anderson from all of those guys are from the University of Virginia. But these are legit, Ty Jerome is going to go pro. I believe Kyle Guy is too because they're knockdown shooters. DeAndre Hunter is a possible top 10 pick. Possible. Definitely a first-round pick. But even though still Duke is the more talented basketball team, definitely. I'm just going to be interested to see what Zion Williams and Barrett can do against that Virginia defense. That's going to be very interesting to see. So college basketball is heating up. Hell, January's flown by. We're just 2 months away from March Madness already. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If Virginia beats Duke, when the next top 25 rankings come out, they better be number 2, maybe number 1. Because in the Associated Press poll, they're number 4. But in the coaches poll, actually, Virginia is ranked number 1. They just go by the Associated Press. But if you go to ESPN.com and you look at rankings, you'll have 2 different views. And the coaches poll is Virginia. And I think rightfully so. But, of course, Virginia owes everybody who dare say they're Cavaliers fans, they owe us one. They owe us one, and not just one win in the NCAA tournament. Damn it, you owe us at least a Final Four appearance this year. After that, oh my, I don't want to get started. Anyway, you know, with that being said, what up, buzzer? Okay, I brought it back to the buzzer. But anyway, so today's life topic, you know, I'm going to talk about, again, I've been noticing a lot that a lot of these celebrities, they're starting to clap back in the wake of this whole R. Kelly situation. Now, the last time I talked about this, or the last couple times I talked about this, my focus was on R. Kelly. Today, my focus is on the totality of this problem. And it really is a problem, you know. And I'm not going to sit here and take back anything I said as far as R. Kelly being a gross individual and a person who has problems. And if I saw him, I would ask him, what is wrong with you? But my thing is that, you know, it's like it's being directed, pointed at towards him, when this is some stuff that everybody knew. Well, everybody knew this stuff was going on. That's why I'm not going to sit here and say that, say anything bad about, you know, the victims, because I definitely feel for them. But I will definitely say that some of these parents out here had an agenda. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Aside from the mother who went to Los Angeles and got her daughter, those other parents, honestly, you knew what you were getting into when you decided to do any type of business with this man. You knew that. But see, here's the thing about it, is that my question is, why is this particular situation being aimed directly at black celebrities? That's the part that I'm not getting. All of this stuff is being aimed at black celebrities, and it's coming out now years and years after these events allegedly happened. So why? And this is my point of thinking. I think it's because, you know, their revenue isn't as valuable as it once was. And what by that I mean, let's look, the R. Kelly sex tape came out back in 2001. 2001, and this was a nationwide tape. Everybody and their mama, you could go to any mall, any flea market, any outdoor flea market, you go to a barber shop, wherever, and people was coming up with the R. Kelly sex tape. And even with all of that being said and being known, R. Kelly was still doing the main songs for soundtracks. He was still singing the national anthem at major sporting events. He was still doing performances opening up for the Olympics. But nobody cared. Basically, that sex tape, that whole scandal was pushed to the back burner. Why? Because he was the #1 R&B artist in the world. He was bringing in dough. He was bringing in mad dough. His revenue was worth the trouble, quote unquote, so to speak. If R. Kelly was still the #1 R&B artist right now, you wouldn't hear about this shit. I guarantee you would not hear about this one bit. Now, see, like I said, some of these celebrities are starting to clap back because, you know, some of them, you know, can just tell the real from the real and the fake from the fake. You know, and a lot of the times we as people get so sucked in because we watch TV and we listen to the media and everybody is pointing the finger directly at one person and saying, be mad at this person, be mad at that person. Just like, you know, I was watching this clip on YouTube where, of course, the clip came out about Drake, you know, rubbing and caressing on stage a 17-year-old girl, but this was back in 2010. What was Drake, like 21, 22, whatever. But the thing that got me is that this video of the dude, Jason Momoa, who plays Aquaman, who was caressing this girl who looked like she was 10, 11 years old, and this girl looked so uncomfortable, she took his arm from around her, and these were for press pictures. So, but do you think that's gonna really get attention like that? Hell no. Do you think Jason Momoa has anything to worry about? Hell no. This man just put out a movie that's making over $1 billion. He got another Justice League movie coming out. I'm pretty sure somebody whispered in his ear and said, we'll take care of this. But they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that for certain people because of their complexion. And yes, I went there. And I will say this. I'm not a racist. I'm just a realist. You know, I have a couple of white friends, Ray and Fred, that I would go to war for. They're my brothers. I would go to war for them. And plus because they're realists. They are realists. The majority of my neighbors that I live with are white. And they the coolest people in the world. They are the coolest people in the world. But I mean, I'm not one of those people who's just gonna get sucked in by all of the bullshit that everybody is telling us to be mad at. Now, mind you, those actions were just those actions by R. Kelly, they're messed up. They're messed up. But it's like now, because to me, the way I see it is that his revenue, the money that he would generally bring in, he's not bringing in anymore. And now you want to, stop this man's music. Look, I'm not a fan of R. Kelly, the person, but I'm not going to stop listening to his music. To hell with that. I love R. Kelly's music. And now they want to do a docuseries on Michael Jackson. For what? Why? What do you want to do a documentary on Michael Jackson for? To do something about child molestation? This man has been dead for 10 years? For what? For what? And what color is Michael Jackson? It don't make no sense. It doesn't make any sense. We sit here and try to make Michael Jackson look like this type of way, a monster. We sit here and try to make R. Kelly look some type of way. But we view Hugh Hefner as an icon. We view Hugh Hefner as an icon when Hugh Hefner, honestly, was nothing but a pimp. Hugh Hefner was nothing but a pimp. Trafficking is messed up either way, whether they're underage or whether they're of legal age. Trafficking ain't nothing but making money off of a woman's body. And it's crazy. Because all Hugh Hefner was doing was trafficking his women in a magazine. You still had to pay for it. You still had to subscribe to it. But do you think they'll ever say anything about Hugh Hefner? And the thing is, with this trafficking stuff, they're making it look like, these black men are trafficking. And trafficking has been going on around the world for a long time. Trafficking has been going on here for a long time. And it ain't been done by African American men. And it's been put right in your face, but people don't pay attention. People really don't pay attention. Look at the movie Taken. The first Taken in 2008 with Liam Neeson. It's about his daughter going off to France to follow a rock band, and she gets taken by a trafficking organization. But we don't pay attention to that because that's just a movie. You know what I'm saying? That's just a movie. They just came out with a movie with Omar Epps and what's the girl named? Paula Patton, called Traffic, about this very same thing. But when you say things about sexual harassment or sexual assault or underage, only thing you seeing on the media is black men about stuff that happened. And the sad part is people that's coming out after all of these years. They trying to get R. Kelly. They already got Bill Cosby, and I'm like, really? But when you hear something about a top flight Hollywood exec who's of Caucasian descent or definitely not a black descent, that gets swept under the rug. If anything, the person who makes that accusation realize their career could be over. And it just makes no sense. That's why I don't, and like Lady Gaga doing this apology, saying she did a song with R. Kelly a couple years ago, and then she gonna issue out an apology. I mean, I'm like, for what? What are you issuing out an apology for? You knew the allegations against R. Kelly. You knew who the hell he was. The sex tape came out before you was even fucking famous. So now you apologizing for doing a song with him? Man, look, cut the bullshit. Because now you just trying to appeal to the public. Cut the bullshit. Cut that fake shit out, man. Cut it out. Like I said, I'm not absorbing R. Kelly for nothing. For nothing. But it's just real convenient. It's just convenient to me when some of this stuff comes out. And it's just crazy. And it's like there's nothing we can do about it because, like I said, as much as people try to bring equality and stuff, ain't shit equal about this society. It's just not. It's just not. And when somebody of my ethnicity says that, then I'm a racist and I'm playing a race card. No, I'm playing the facts card. Okay? I'm playing the facts card. The problem is people don't want to hear it, so they try to silence us. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm not trying to stir up no, rebel rousing and all of this stuff. I'm just speaking what's on my mind. It's just my opinion. Anybody is free to disagree with me, and I won't feel no type of way at him about it. But I'm just looking at the conveniency of all of this bullshit, of all of it. Like I said, now they want to do a documentary on Michael Jackson. For what? That really is pissing me off. Why? Why? Because I guess now that Michael's been dead for 10 years, he ain't making you the money now that he was supposed to be making? I mean, after the man closed his eyes, he made $1 billion in like a month. So I'm like, come on, let's cut the BS out. But anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. It's your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns. This has, again, been another episode. To my Facebook Live people, I'm going to post this whole podcast on Facebook once I finish getting it uploaded. I hope you guys listen, and I definitely hope you guys listen to this part again. And this has been Sports Plus Life. Hit that subscribe button. If you on Facebook Live, go to YouTube, go to Brevon Towns and hit that subscribe button and holla at your boy. Peace.